Hello everyone and welcome to Progipad. I'm Olivia, I'm the owner of Progipad.com. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the resources that you can find in a blog post on 5 tips to help you save time. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the time tracking and energy tracking templates that you're getting part of the resources in this particular blog post. So without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, I really urge you to go ahead and read the blog post before you start watching this video so that you can see what I'm talking about. So just check out the link down below and you can get started. So with the blog post, you are receiving a few templates. You're receiving the time tracking templates, the energy tracking and log templates, and you're getting also a graph like this one. So I'm going to show you quickly how to use this, and I hope that this will help. So the first thing I'm going to do is categorize the information I want to put in that particular template. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to categorize the information I want to put into the templates. So the first thing I'm going to do is color those rectangles here. You can write things down if you prefer, but I found that colors really help. It's up to you. Here I'm going to use purple and create different categories for my day to log what I do, the time I spend doing things, and then blue. I'm just going to use 3 categories so that this video doesn't last forever. So then I'm going to write what they represent. So blue, I'm going to say it's work. Then purple, I'm going to say it's leisure. And then the green is like I'm off. So sleeping or whatever else I'm doing. So now let's color my my chart during the day. So I would say that until 7 I don't wake up. It's not true, you guys. I'm up at 5 a.m. Most people don't wake up before a certain time, you know. So make sure you color that. You can also write things down if you prefer. You don't have to use colors. You can write sleep if you want. But I think that using colors is really cool. Then I would say that from 7:30 to 8:30, I'm doing chores. So I'm going to use another, I'm going to use another color like yellow for chores. So, you know, cleaning and things like that. So I'm going to use cleaning here. So let's clean until 8:30. I'm going to clean my house. Okay, so that includes washing dishes and, you know, laundry and things of that nature. Then from 9 to 9:30, I'm going to work, right? But what you need to do is to be truly honest on, you know, when you're inactive. So let's say from 9:30 to 10, I was distracted. So I'm going to do another color for distraction. I'm going to use a bright pink so that I know this is not good. I'm distracted. So it could be TV time or there's distraction in general. So you can write here distraction. Okay. And so let's color that in. So from 9:30 to 10:30, I was actually distracted. Distractions in this particular case is not a positive thing. It will be something negative that wasn't planned in your schedule initially. So let's say you were supposed to work till 12. Well, then you got distracted for like 2 hours or 1 hour doing nothing or half an hour. Okay. Then you worked until 11:30, you know. Then you had your break. So your break was lunchtime. So let's say that you plan to have your lunch until 1 p.m. But then, you know, you got distracted. Okay, so let's say you said, okay, I'm going to have my lunch till 1 p.m. But then it extended till 2 p.m. because I got distracted talking with my friend or something, right? We all do that. So let's say I got distracted. So I'm going to use a pink color. And so I got distracted for a little while. for 30 minutes or something. I got distracted talking and it wasn't planned. So this is how you would use this particular chart. And so you would say, okay, I'm going to focus on the distraction time and see how I could reduce this time so that I get more done during the day without being tired. So you can do that by doing several things. You can, first of all, include those times inside of your schedule. So said, okay, after my lunch, I know that I'm always getting distracted. So instead, I'm going to include this as a break time for myself and reduce maybe breaks somewhere else. Maybe do a little bit more work when I have more energy. So you will see that you can log and track your energy in the next page. But then again, you can see at what time of the day you get distracted, which often correspond to the time of the day when you have the least energy. So then you can really kind of schedule your time in a different manner and work when you are at your peak during the day. And we all differ from that. Myself, I tend to be very productive in the morning, very early at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. I tend to be ready to get to work. And at 6, 7, my energy drops dramatically. And at 9, I'm exhausted. I can't do anything. Where my partner is somebody who can work at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and that is not me. And so we all differ. And it's very important for you to understand when you are at your peak and when you get really, really tired and exhausted very quickly. So this chart will allow you to see at a glance like this, like when is a time when you get really distracted and what you need to do in order for you to recuperate this time in somehow, okay? And maybe at later time or maybe early in the morning or something. So now let's move on to how to use the energy log. So it's pretty simple. What you're going to do is use a number from 1 to 10 and see when you have the most energy. So what you're going to do is go through the chart. It's very easy to do, and then calculate the average, which is here. So to calculate the average, pretty simple. You will fill up the entire table for your week at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, etc. And then you will add the sum of each row and then divide it by the amount of columns. So if you have, so let's give you an example here. So let's say that I'm at Monday at 6 a.m. Me personally, I'm at an 8. Then Tuesday, I'm going to be at a 7. And Wednesday, I'm going to be at a 6, and etc. So what you're going to do is add up these particular numbers here, and then divide those numbers, the sum of those numbers, by the amount of column that you're using. So let's say that you're doing this for 1 week or for 4 days, then you're going to divide this sum here. That will be 29 here divided by 4. And that is the average energy you have at 6 a.m. for 4 days. And so if you look at the blog post, and I really recommend you will find an Excel sheet and a numbers sheet where you can do that automatically. You don't actually have to calculate that manually. But this is for you if you really don't like to use, tables and stuff and you want to do it manually. I don't really recommend it. I think it's just cumbersome and, you don't want to have to do that all the time. But if you were doing this on your bullet journal or your planner and you want to do it manually, this is how you do it. I mean, it's pretty easy to calculate averages, but this is what you do. So you might want to do that every day, recalculate the average, but I really recommend you to go ahead and download it inside of the blog post listed down below. So you will do it in this particular chart for about 3 weeks. So that will give you at the end of it the average, and that will allow you to see really after the 3 weeks how much energy you have, how often, and when is your peak time for energy. What you can also do is work here with this particular chart here, which is not very hard to use. So you can also use numbers from 1 to 10 and say that, okay, at 1 a.m. I have 2 in terms of energy. I don't have much energy. So I will add a 2. And so what you do is go here and add the little dot here for 2. Then say that for myself, at 5 a.m., I am at a 10 usually. I have a lot of energy. So 5 a.m., I said, okay, I'm at a 10. Okay, so what you can do is trace a line better than I do. Does that work? Yeah, you can use the shape tool to create straight lines. Don't do it like me. Okay, so I would say, okay, at 7 a.m., I'd come down to an 8 at 7 a.m. usually. So 7 a.m., I come down to an 8 here. So again, I'm going to go down here. And then at 10 a.m., I'm usually start to get hungry slightly. I go down to a 7 at 10 a.m. So go down to a 7, which is about here. And so what you do is continuing that way. So let's say at 12 p.m., I'm usually hungry. So I go down to a 4 because at 12 p.m., I don't joke with food. When I'm hungry, I can't function at all. So 12 p.m., I go down to a 4, about here. And so I can see that I have a reduction of energy at this particular time. So I'm at my peak at about 5 a.m., between 5 a.m. and I would say 7 a.m. I'm really good. Okay, so I continue like that. Then I'm at my peak again at 2 p.m. I usually, after a little bit of the digestion, I just feel better. Oh, okay, so at 2 p.m., I go back to a 10 or something like that. I put 10, maybe 8, but anyway. I'm going to keep it at a 10. So trace it. Then at 4 or 5 p.m., I go down to a 7. So 7, it's about here at 7 p.m. Just like this. And then personally for me, like at 8 p.m., it goes down to a 5 because I start to be really tired. So 8 p.m. goes down to a 5. I start to get tired. I don't want to work anymore and, And then this is how I can see that at 5 a.m. and at 3 p.m. I'm at my peak time for work. And that's usually when I do the best work I can possibly do. So this is how you use it for those of you who do not want to use Excel sheets or the numbers sheets that are added to the download area in this particular blog post. It's not a problem to do it manually. It's just a little bit of calculation that you have to do yourself, especially for the energy log, for the average, even though it's not hard to calculate the average of anything. What I would do is put the information, the formula below the video, even if it's super easy to calculate average. But, this is what you do. So if you want to use it inside of your bullet journal, I recommend to use a time tracking table as well as the biological prime time graph. It's easier. And then use for the energy log, use the tables that I give away inside of the blog post. Anyway, guys, that was it for this particular video. I'm going to show you how to use the tables in the next video. If you want to find us, make sure to follow us on all of our social media. Our handle is @Progipad in the Facebook group, in the Facebook page, and on Instagram. You can also subscribe to this channel. That will be super helpful for us. You can find our store at www.progipad.com and subscribe to our newsletter too, because there's a lot of communication and most of the resources will be available for you there, as well as our freebies. And I really recommend that you join our Facebook group because, again, most of the updates are posted there. So thank you for watching this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.